important. They get kids hooked on reading. My daughter refused to read. I have very stubborn kids. She refused to read the first 10 years of her life. But then I got her hooked on comic books. And that turned into a love of reading, which turned into a love of movies, which, okay, this is the proud mother speaking, which just turned into her graduating this weekend with a master's in film production. So it can take you places. It can take you anywhere you want to go. We have a library at the American Center, which some of you have seen, some of you may not. It has over 20,000 books and periodicals. I'm going to make a pitch here. We also just started gathering some of the American Girl books. It's a series talking about how girls lived, what their issues were, what their problems were, the social problems of different eras in American history. We're really big on what we call girl power. And that leads to women's empowerment, which leads to a country's economic empowerment. So I'm just really pleased to see all of the young women here. Young men too, it's okay. I have a son too, I like him. But women, and listen to this guys, okay? Women are really the backbone of a country's economy, all right? If you educate your women, you educate the country, all right? And you've got a big task in front of you, but you're smart. I know you're smart because you wouldn't be at the school unless you were, or at the other schools in the area. So I wish you all the best. I also know that quite a few of you will be going to the Kolkata Book Fair, which they're inaugurating later today. Keep reading, keep dreaming, and make your dreams come true. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And now may I call upon Ajruta Mitra, the President of Readers Club, to introduce our guests.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the first session is entitled "No Child's Play," and we have with us a board comprising of Samit, Basu, Rahul Bose, and Ruskin Bond, and chaired by Seema Mohanchandran. Now, Mrs. Mohanchandran started her career with the Taj Group in 1990 as a management trainee in Mumbai. An alumnus of Delhi University, where she majored in English literature, she has worked across all hotel functions in multiple locations with the Taj Group, from Chennai to New Delhi to Mumbai and Sydney, where she set up the group's first regional sales and reservations office. Her experience also includes time with Emirates in their holiday divisions. The guests include Samit Basu. Now, Samit Basu is a former student of Presidency University and Don Bosco School, Park Circus, and he is a writer, graphic novelist, and screenwriter. The Similan Prophecies, part of the Game World trilogy, which has reached the bestseller list, was his first novel and marked the beginning of Indian English fantasy writing. His works in comics ranges from historical romance to zombie comedy and includes diverse collaborations from X-Men writer Mike Carey to Terry Gilliam and Duran Duran. This man has revolutionized India's position in the comic and fantasy world industry. He is smart, humorous, entertaining, and indeed lacks no talent in penning it down. Rahul Bose. Now, this man dons many hats: an ace rugby player, actor, director, screenwriter, and social activist. Rahul Bose is an example to the young blood of India. He started his career working in advertising and soon turned into an actor with English August, based on Upamanyu Chatterjee's novel of the same name. He has extensively used his image for the better by involving himself in social welfare activities. He has worked on the Andaman and Nicobar post-tsunami as a venture of his NGO, The Foundation. He has a huge connect with the younger generation and educationists, and we are very excited to have him here today. Finally, the last member on our board today is Ruskin Bond. Now, how do you solve a problem like Maria? I mean, how do you introduce a man like Ruskin Bond? My first encounter with this literary giant was when I was a child of only 8, saved from the ennui of having nothing to do in the pages of A Season of Ghosts. There are some authors whose works stick with you throughout your life, and Ruskin Bond is one such author. I think I speak for my entire generation when I say we grew up with Rusty, badgered our parents to let us have a zoo similar to the one we read about in his books, wandered the hills of Dehra with his beloved characters. Sir, you have been a role model and a source of inspiration to many of us. You're literally the man of our dreams. We hope there will be many more books to come, as no one can weave magic with their words quite like you can. I'm not going to take too much of your time and pass on the mic to Mr. Bond. Thank you.
Before our Bond comes to speak, I will just do one honor, and that is to Mr. Rahul Bose. I had the privilege, good fortune of listening to him for the Heads Conference in Mumbai earlier this month. And believe me, he mesmerized a hall full of elderly father principals, sisters, and heads of schools and colleges. And so we are very, very happy to have him with us, and we shall accord him a Martiniere welcome.
Well, good morning, all of you, and you look very serious. I didn't know it was such a strict girls' school. I hope none of us up here is very serious. You have a space traveler in Samit Basu and a rugby player in Rahul Bose, and I can only compete with them as a tap dancer. But I won't give you a demonstration today. Thank you. I woke up feeling rather sluggish and feeling like a question mark. But confronted by so many bright and intelligent faces, I now feel like an exclamation mark. And what can I say? I'm not an orator or a public speaker. In fact, when I was at school, I devised a system of sleeping through public speeches. You know, Founders Day, you have the principal making a long speech, then the chief guest, and then the ghost of honor, all one after the other. So I devised a way where you could sleep, at the same time appear to be concentrating very hard. Something like this. And you... So now I've told you that my secret, but unfortunately your teachers and staff are here too, so they know what you'll be up to. So I'm going to leave the talking to others, and Mrs. Mohanchandran is going to ask some questions, and I think we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. Thanks.
Our guests, Ma'am Joria, she will be escorted down so that the panel discussion can begin.
morning. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible at the back? Better now? Now? Yeah, okay. JJ, thank you for setting the tone on reading comics and how it led to films and interest in that. I can only say that I'm deeply honored to be sharing stage space with the inimitable Ruskin Bond, the multi-talented, multifaceted Rahul Bose, who's also a friend. Thank you, Rahul. And Samit, who I have the opportunity to know. Hold up. And he's turned out, what, 2 books already? Something like that. And I've enjoyed reading The Adventures of Stoob and looking forward to the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, and hopefully many more. And then Stoob will, I guess, grow up, and then we'll have a new character.
Not.
You're hoping not? I hope so too, because I think he's an absolutely sort of fantastic 10-year-old boy, just the way we'd like young boys to be. So the topic that we're going to discuss today is why are Indian books and cinema finding it so hard to capture the imagination of children? Globally, you would know that the young adult books reading is probably one of the most popular in the publishing segment and as well as in the film world. Why is it that India is still awaiting its Harry Potter moment? Mr. Bond, would you like to take that?
I thought the Harry Potter moment had come and gone, actually.
Yes, we need it back again.
I think that's the mic that's working. The only mic in the world that's working. So we might as well give it to Ruskin.
Spoken like a true film.
Can you hear me now? Thank you. Well, trends come and go, and the Harry Potter trend was a very significant one, and in fact it helped in many ways to make children's books respectable or popular they've always been popular with readers, but popular with publishers, because publishers didn't want to bring out children's books for many years, especially in India. They felt there wasn't a market, which was quite untrue. And so that it was helpful, but that trend is gone. Other trends will come too. And at the moment, right, there's a very strong trend in fantasy writing, of which Samit Basu is a master. And I think that's always been there ever since Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland. So it can only develop and move on in different directions.